A very good afternoon, all. We have gathered for yet another interesting Ecotech talk of exneco today. And we have with us Mr. Subrata Das, who is Chartered Engineer and Advisor of PMDCS, working in the area of hydropower and pump storage projects, including tunnels, caverns, and dams. Our topic for the day is transforming large scale infrastructure projects, cost effective, risk managed, and sustainable solution for tunnels, dams, and pump storage projects. We will be talking about the future of large scale infrastructure projects in today's knowledge series. Mr. Das has more than 35 years of experience in this sector and has worked in major projects, some of which have been completed ahead of schedule. We at exneco are proud to have him for our Ecotech Talk. exneco stands for exploration, networking, and collaboration, and we are trying to build a platform for sustainable enterprises for the common good. Myself, Shrestha, and I'm the host for the day. Welcome, Mr. Das, for the Ecotech Talk today. My first question to you is, sir, since you have been for more than 3 decades of experience in large scale infrastructure projects, what major trends are you observing in this area?
Thank you, exneco, and thank you particularly, Srishtaji, for giving me this opportunity and finding a time to talk on this subject. So far as this sector is concerned, we have progressed a lot. In the last 30 35 years, we're able to see we have improved a lot in the sector of construction, in the scale of time and the scalability. So, and this time factor has been impacted and time has been reduced. It is impossible to reduce by the introduction of the high end, I should say, the equipment largely, some hydraulic equipment, some electrically operated equipment, and smart equipments. So this is a great thing which has happened. And the earlier days when project is to be done manually, and even today when you go to far along areas, you'll see concrete being done by wheelbarrows or headload of people work manually. But then in the industrial sector, this has changed, and almost everywhere now these machines are being used. This is a very good thing which has happened in the last 35 years, what we have seen in this country. But at the same time, we have also seen the evolving softwares which helps you in managing the project, and by way of project management softwares like many things like MS Project or Primavera or kind of a thing. So, two things particularly differ. One is the utilization of these resources. When it comes to productivity utilization of the equipment, we have utilized maximum of the capacity those equipments are designed for and made for. At times, you'll find people even taking more productivity from the new machines than they recommended by the manufacturer. There's one way we are saying. The other way, when it's a project management software, it has got enormous potential in helping us in finding in predicting the risk, in finding proactive steps, proactive measures, and guiding us and all. So, but this project management softwares are not being utilized to the where you compare to the equipment, when they're utilized to the full, the project management softwares are not being utilized. And as a result, despite having all the capabilities of the project management software, we are still facing with delayed projects, sometime cost escalation, and sometime landing into disputes and all. So these what is the change what I have seen in the last 30 to 35 years in the industrial sector, in the construction industry sector. That's what I feel so. Thank you.
So that was a great input, sir. So now, moving on to the next question, what role does AI play in making sustainable solutions for tunnels?
Yeah. AI, this is jargon word today, and everyone speaks about AI. The day when we started speaking computers, everyone started speaking computer. Today, computer is and now a old word. People are using now AI. So now AI is a topic which I really don't understand properly today. I don't understand. It's quite hazy for me. Quite hazy for me. Yes, if you can say predictive analysis, I do understand. If you say building information modeling, I do understand. If you say automation, I do understand. But so far as AI is concerned, it's not. I think it's not. It's a very hard not to understand today. Maybe down the line, 20 years or 15 years, people will understand, and we will also learn. Maybe the next generation will learn and try to use. But so far as predictive analysis is concerned, automation is concerned, building information modeling is concerned, these are having very good position today. And when you automate them, and when you write an algorithm, when you design the software to learn automatically, so many of the things are happening for the past also, learning automatically. So by learning automatically, it again restrict to on what are the factors. Like for example, we have project management kind of a automation small tools which learns automatically means we tell them what to learn and where to trigger and where not to trigger. We have taken many of the human intervention areas to be done by machines. Up to that extent, I understand. But so far as AI is concerned, it's yet a very far dream, whatever I see, because Beam, which has even the project management software, in my first question when I said even the project management software which we are seeing for the last 20 years have not been utilized properly, and Beam, which have been uh, very recent revolution in the world of modeling or information, that is also been utilized in only some restricted areas, maybe in clash detection, that also in real estate sector, but in infrastructure sector like tunnel, like caverns, like dams and all, beams are still a very far thing. So, but
You, sir.
gradually, when we step in with the beam model, with the automation, with kind of Python scripting for solving our day-to-day manual intervention, so those things will perhaps lead to a good defined AI. Maybe I'm incomplete in this answering, but I understand this much only. Thank you.
Yes, sir. AI would be the future. So later on, maybe we will see more inputs on this. So practically, what is being done at present, you are the master in that. And now, talking about the mobile app that you have developed. So please tell us about the mobile app and how it assists the frontline staff in construction project management and real-time decision making.
Yeah, it's an important question. It's let me tell you, it's not an app kind of a thing. It's not a GPay kind of a thing, or it's not a some something will happen when I click. Something will happen. It's basically I shall not define it as a mobile application. I shall define it as a solution
Okay.
solution which is integrated with your dashboard, with your desktop, with your mobile, and with the frontline staff. Now, let me tell you an example. Recently, we developed for a client a I'll say application, but it's not restricted to mobile only. It's a application which eases their uh, procedures, which eases many of the hindrances what they face in manually handling the things. And if I go a little deep into it, I'll say for example, in an EPC project, in an EPC hydro project, there are many components. Then every component need to be designed right from the investigation data, and then those every design of the component, every component has to be designed, drafted, submitted, and then reviewed by the client's authority engineer. So it goes to four, five, six hands for a single procedure, and that too also it happens in geographically different location. Now, what happens? There may be 300 or 400 kind of a number of reports and design or drawing, and running to around 1,500 to 2,000, 2,500 transmitter. So it's a complex. Now, when the CEO or when the director or when the head of the client he sits in the meeting, he if he asks one question, then for answering his one question, you have to see all those transmitters. You have to see all those thousand transmitters. You have to see what happened, it is at whom, and what are the observations, what are the comments. So it is a very, very tedious job. And often I've been a party to many of this engineering process, and in that I've seen in one meeting it is decided when the status will be updated.
True.
So, if the head the project is not able to get the status instant when he is in the meeting with the stakeholders, now tell me, despite having so many qualification and so much of experience, that head of the project is actually handicapped. Firstly, secondly, you always cannot come prepared. The head of the company or the director of the company or the CEO of the company might not be always prepared with the number of the preparations required. Because if he is prepared, he can give a list before 1 week before. I want this thing. But during discussion, during engineering discussion, a lot of new things evolve. And when new things evolve, people look for where is that document, where is this design, what is the status of the design, in whose hand it is, what are the factors, what are the data available. So the time every 3% will be looking to another 3 person's face, and then maybe a incomplete bucket of information will be there. Then finally it will conclude, okay, we'll look into it, or we'll come back, or kind of a thing. So this is what. Now suddenly, if the director or if anyone have a question in his mind, if a question in his mind suddenly evolve in the meeting, when the meeting goes on, if he suddenly has a question in his mind, okay, if this is so, then what is that part of the drawing happening? So what he can do is he can immediately, he has a dashboard. He can he can see the dashboard. He can go to the component, write some keywords. He find out where the drawing is, with whom it is, and who had the comment, who made the comment, who made the observation, how many days it took, when it was submitted, everything. So if he has got a real-time display of what is happening, despite of not knowing what will be the questions in the meeting, he can immediately pinpoint where is it, in whose hand it is, and then he can take decisions, like he can take decisions on which one to be prioritized, which one to be not, which one to be taken priority, or which one need whose assistance. Immediately he can direct.
Yes.
So if he is informed well, he is
Able to
he is
take decisions.
more equipped. Now you tell me how this happens. This happens whenever any transmittal move from one place to another. The document controller has got a mobile application. He can simply write one or two keywords and revision number of the drawing and one or two observation, and click it. Once it clicks, it is stored in the cloud, and the system is automated to such a way that component wise, keyword wise, you can search where what thing is. Now he need not go for searching the 1,000 papers. He need not
Yes.
go for searching those 11 files, 12 files and all. and everyone I think is better informed. They feel more powerful now, and hopefully the client is happy, shall be
Very
happy.
rightly said, sir. So it's a great
Yes.
solution, in fact, which you have provided to the industry. So now, please
Yeah,
educate us
thank you.
on your article, Rushing to Failures, what the construction companies should keep in mind when they are working on construction projects of high value with big time constraints.
Yeah. Actually, we traditionally we are a very good people. We have done all big things. Maybe in 20 year, maybe in 30 year, we have done all marvel. We have done all marvel. Coming to today's industry scenario, do we have that luxury of the time of the Taj Mahal? Number one, do our bankers or lenders or stakeholders give us that liberty? Do our taxpayers allow you to wait for 30 years for a project to deliver? Definitely not. So, by default, when a DPR is made, it's made within the shortest possible time, without which it will never be approved. Nobody will think that if I get a project after 20 years, what is next? Nothing. Now, for example, in energy sector, in green energy sector, people are concerned most of the time. People are committed. Government at the same time, people are committed for delivering the project in time. Now, if you want to deliver the project in time, what industry need to keep in mind? Industry need to keep in mind is the risks that were envisaged during making of the DPR is not the final risk. Risk evolve daily and shiftwise. If these risks are incorporated with your project management software, then you can predict the future eventuality due to this evolving risk of today, rather than sitting for a review meeting once in a month, or maybe in a quarter, and then reviewing how much delay we did, and then that day only sitting with all the problem in the head, and then telling people to submit a revised schedule. That also those submit a revised schedule not before 15 days. So is it this post-mortem or a reactive approach that's working, or we need to be proactive?
Yes.
So this proactivity is a thing which every stakeholder need to understand. And unlike earlier days, maybe 30 years back, when we did scheduling by hand, manually, and all, it is not possible to revise your schedule every shift. Today, it is possible provided we integrate the evolving risk. So there should be a mechanism. Again, if you want to do it manually, it's very tedious and cumbersome. Therefore, people don't update schedule every shift. It's very cumbersome. But today, with the emergence of, I think, emergence of, or the emergence of the development of the availability of people who can code, who can write script for automating solution. Today, every small activity of a shift or a day can be updated automatically. Manually, not possible, but
Yes.
automatically it is possible. And if you integrate every risk with the schedule, so you see the future eventualities well beforehand. And if you see well beforehand, you can take up action. Any construction company can take an action if it knows that this is the result of the risk of today, which is going to give us problem after 8 months. If he knows today, he can take action. If he
Yes.
knows on the seventh month, he is helpless.
True.
So the only thing is people have to be proactive, and for this proactivity, you need to use technology. Manually, not possible.
True,
At
sir.
least I do not know.
True, sir. So that was a great input, sir. So now, moving on to our next question, please enlighten us about the government initiatives in tunnel construction, dams, and pump storage projects.
Uh, so far as whatever informations are available in the public domain, and we are seeing lot of initiatives being taken for the infrastructure sector at the same time, especially power sector. Since I'm into this sector, so now Central Electricity Authority and then Central Water Commission, these two departments from the Ministry of Jal Shakti and Ministry of Power, they have done a marvelous thing of approving a project. Projects approval happening within shortest time. Once upon a time, I remember some companies. For some companies, it took 8 years for a project to get an approval because
That is
it's a
quite a
new
time. Yeah,
8 year, 9 year uh, for getting the project approved. But today, the approval process has been reduced and the formats have been given, the systems have been given, the guidance have been given. And as an example, two projects, maybe if I'm not mistaken, one is of Tata, another is of JSW. These two projects got approved within less than 15 months of time. And
wonderful.
this initiative was taken just less than a 2 year back only. The circular was given less than 2 year back, and that showed result.
Perfect.
So likewise, if you go through, there are many n number of places where government have then kind of many other initiatives, have other financial initiatives uh, have also been taken. So in a
Wonderful.
nutshell, I can say this only. Yeah.
Yes. And what, according to you, are the steps to be taken by the government in the area of dam building and tunnel construction?
India's Central Board of Irrigation and Power, one of the oldest organization. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 1929. Central Water Commission. Uh, then these two departments, the initiative by these two departments under the instruction of the ministry uh, have done more than sufficient things for this dam and tunnel construction. And very recently, the Dam Safety Act has also been brought. These are the testimony of what the initiatives they have taken for making our dam safe, making the tunnel things and all. And they're constantly on the work. And we have a robust India's Central Water Commission has a uh, robust setup and guidelines which can take things forward.
Wonderful, sir.
Yeah.
So now moving to the next question, the construction of water batteries through pump storage projects is the answer for green energy in India. Enlighten us on its cost implications.
Cost, hmm, it's a very tough question, although I do costing, but cost, to tell about cost is a tough thing, but if the implication is concerned, it is far beyond the labor, material, and the machine that I can say.
Okay.
It is not only machine, labor, and material. Those who think these are the three cost components are
Mistaken.
mistaken,
True, sir.
mistaken greatly,
Okay.
and it is the time factor. It is the ability of the project developer to see the risks and mitigate well in advance.
Okay.
Normally, what is been seen, we start we start based on the DPR and initial engineering, and then we hit a wall. And when something wrong goes, what happens? We are left out with no option that the control is in the hands of what is the damage happened. Say, for example, there is a collapse in the tunnel. So after the collapse, I don't have the control on the cost. It is
Yes.
the after the accident. It is as same as after the accident. It is only the hospital or the medical care or the nursing home knows what will be the cost.
Yeah.
So after the incident, after any setback, it is only the nature of the setback who decides the cost.
So one has to make provisions for the
So
same.
provisions at the same time, capacity enhancement in understanding the evolving risk and mitigating them well in advance. Just
Yes.
understanding or listing out in books are of no meaning. We shall build our capacity to mitigate the evolving risk.
True.
So this is an area which is impacting our projects in every country's project. This is impacting. This is the biggest implication. Projects cost increased to 200%, 150%, delayed by 2T. These are all the these are all the proof of uh, that we have ample room of uh, building
Work
our
to do.
capacity in
Yeah.
assessment of the risk and mitigating them.
Yes. True, sir.
And
So this is the
that's what.
area one has to work on. And now
Yes.
moving on to our last question, but the most important question, what according to you, the young enthusiast should do in the area of large scale infrastructure projects? What role can they play?
They've got enough role. They can bring in technology, which was not a advantageous situation when we became engineer. They can bring in technology to solve the problems what we could not do. We could not do many things. We could not do many things because of the limitations. We used to make schedule by hand in the graph paper. One drawing preparation required 15 days with rubber, pencil, eraser, tracing, blueprint, and all. Today, even drawing preparation is not required. For studying drawing, we require hours. Today, for studying drawing, you require minutes. Why? Because today, even drawing is going to be obsolete. Today, we have building information modeling. But most importantly, uh, they have to understand the project first. That they understand the nitty gritties, then bring in the technologies.
Very
They
true.
need not start anything new. They need to start with the problems we faced. They need to start from what we could not do. But yes, then it will take the experience of the very senior people who are in the industry. They have to learn from them. They have to ask them questions. So then it will be proactive. They cannot. There's no meaning in starting new anything. I cannot go back to some 2000 years to study uh, script and letters and all. No need. No today. Today
Yes.
even reading is not required. Even reading is not required today.
Yeah.
Language understanding is also not required. In building information modeling, we simply click the model, and clicking everyone knows. A kid knows how to click. You need to click. Once you click, you see the material, you see when it was done, you see what are the properties, what are the design. Only clicking required.
But the
So,
understanding of nitty-gritties is important.
yes, and uh, mm, that is where we are actually not very advanced. The time when we have a growing IT strength in any country, but the experienced people don't have time to tell these boys what their problem is.
So it was a great discussion we had when it comes to large scale infrastructure projects related to dams, tunnels, caverns, pump storage projects, and the array of information that you gave us, what is done at present, what has to be done in the future, what the new enthusiasts should do in this field, and the marvelous job that government has done. It has been great talking to you, and we are really honored that you found some time and you were there at our Tech Talk. It was truly a pleasure having you here at exneco's Eco Tech Talk. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam, for again giving this opportunity. At the same time, this information, this messages, if reaches the younger generation, will benefit them. And one thing I would definitely like to see: these are my understanding. What I told, I may differ. It's a disclaimer kind of a thing. I may differ, and if somebody ever feel that they need to be improved, they can educate me on the latest thing they're doing. I'll definitely welcome their comments on the video or in whatever mode they feel like. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.